Hi everyone, it's me, FnafFan Productions, and if you're wondering why I look like a very gay Hawaiian memeless, well, that's because in these troubling times of the UK becoming a surveillance state, privacy is paramount. Oh fuck, it just slipped off. Fuck's sake. So the secret of the Mimic review is now in the works. I've just finished recording the audio, I just need to actually edit the video and then finito, it's done. However, the video is on pause for a little bit because something, oh, screw the fucking bandana. So the video is on pause for a little bit because something big and potentially very worrying has just happened, and so I want to make a video about it. So here we are. Okay, so I don't really like talking about politics on this channel, and I tend to keep politics irrelevant as much as I can because I mean, politics overall is not a very happy or fun topic to cover, to be honest. But what has happened recently has just pissed me off so much that I need to talk about this to just express my anger somewhat. Okay, so you've read the title already. You've probably, no doubt, seen the countless other videos about this, but the UK government has just passed a new law called the Online Safety Act. And as harmless as it may be, it is absolutely not. It is just a recipe for a digital dystopia, and it does little to nothing to actually improve online safety on the internet. Right now, thanks to this law, people in the UK, including me, because I live in the UK, are at a risk of getting monitored by the government. People's personal information are going to be in the hands of private tech companies, and are going to be at the risk of getting stolen by hackers. Content that is not deemed appropriate by the state, even if it's innocent, are at risk of getting taken down. This law is just nothing but a complete dumpster fire, and I'm so goddamn mad about it. Okay, so to all of the viewers who don't live in the UK, you're probably very confused as to why everyone in the UK right now is very outraged and scared of this new law. And if that's the case, then let's do a full breakdown of this law and discuss the issues and its true intentions. So when you look at this act, it does have some good laws to it. For example, it proposes facial ID scan to access adult content, restricted access to P games, I can't say the actual word because, you know, YouTube being YouTube, and £18 million fines for companies that don't comply. They're pretty good pieces of law for an online safety act. However, it also has some laws that, you know, really raise eyebrows. Users must verify with a third-party company. Why can't the British government just make an app for that? And will my information even be safe in the hands of a tech company? The Act's proposals for verification doesn't only include photo ID, by the way. It also proposes facial ID, sharing your bank card details, your national insurance number, your mobile phone service provider. For some reason, it's proposing a lot of new ways for verification that wants you to give out your very important details. And bear in mind, this is coming from a government who also says that you shouldn't share these, you know, very important details, by the way. And yet these details are not going to the government. It's all going to private tech companies. Can we even trust a tech company to look after our important information, especially when they are at a risk of getting hacked, stolen, or even subject to technical problems? Look at the CrowdStrike outage last year, for example. That was the most devastating outage ever, and not only that, but also details about several businesses that were also stored in CrowdStrike was leaked to the public. But it wasn't just the CrowdStrike outage that happened last year as well. Transport for London also got hacked in September, and that was a complete disaster. Account details, Oyster card information, and even bank account details were leaked and stolen. This was also done by a 17-year-old, but that's irrelevant. What I'm trying to argue here is that if very important personal information is stored online, it will certainly at one point get accessed and hacked one way or another. No matter how much security you try to put into it, hackers will always get around it. How can the government expect us to just willingly allow private tech companies to just store our personal information online, despite the fact that storing personal information online has proven to be a massive no-no? Then there's also this law where there will need to be age verification put in place for games longer than 2 hours. What does that have to do with keeping children safe? If it's for something like, I don't know, 18 rated games, then that's understandable. But it doesn't even specifically state 18 rated games. It just says games longer than 2 hours. So even if you're playing something like There Is No Game Wrong Dimension, which is a 4 to 5 hour game and it's not 18 rated, you still have to verify your age to play it. Why? How is that going to keep children safe? Yeah, very good job, Labour. You're keeping children safe. And the next issue I have with this legislation is this law right here. Access to PE games, niche gaming forums, or non-state approved content will be restricted. It sounds great, especially for PE games, but listen to this. Non-state approved content. Notice the lack of specifics there. That basically means that anything the government sees and doesn't like can have the full right to restrict it or just remove it completely. Bear in mind, this is a government that is currently under the control of the Labour Party, and if any of you are familiar with the Labour Party right now, you would know that they have not been very keen on opinions that differ from theirs. They've suspended fellow Labour MPs from voting against bills in Parliament. They've labelled people as far-right thugs for protesting against Labour's policies. Keir Starmer and the Labour Party as a whole is really scaring a lot of people right now. And yet here they are introducing a piece of legislation with a law saying they will remove anything they don't like. They can remove online news articles, they can remove content from other political parties, heck, they could even remove this video. I'm criticising the Labour Party and the Labour government right now. And I guarantee you, not a single P game or an adult website will be removed. They are, no doubt, probably just using that as an excuse just so it can hide its true agenda. And it definitely explains why there are less actual laws for online safety in a piece of legislation for online safety. This legislation even has laws put in place for social media companies to introduce tools that they have already put in place a while ago to keep children safe online. Discord already has very strict rules regarding age. Any user who is found under the age of 13 can just get banned on the platform with a snap of the finger. Even if it's just like a joke where you go, "Don't touch me, I'm insert underage number here," you can still get banned for that. And not only that, but Discord even has several tools you can use for your service where you can separate people of different ages into separate channels and put moderators in place to regulate what's being posted in a server. I myself am actually a Discord moderator. But it's not just Discord. Websites and various social media platforms already have tools put in place to keep children safe. Google, Roblox, Nintendo, etc. all have tools for parental controls. Instagram has introduced new account settings for teenagers. And going back to Google, they already have photo ID verification in place. A lot of the laws in this legislation are already going to be made redundant because if the Labour Party actually did their homework and examined the internet carefully enough, they would know that social media companies already have the tools similar to that of what the Online Safety Act wants social media companies to implement. But of course, we're not stupid. There is just one real reason as to why this act exists, and it's not online safety or keeping kids safe online. It's just so that the Labour government can have people under constant surveillance. It explains why the government and Keir Starmer himself didn't even announce this publicly like what he usually does on Twitter, or why they've made this legislation into effect just as the Parliament session wrapped up for the summer. Because they know that if they announce this publicly or during the Parliament session, they would be shredded and rinsed by everyone, and for good reason. Thankfully, Parliament will be back from the summer of the 6 weeks, so the first BMQs will no doubt be very fun to watch to see everyone's reaction to that law by then. And thankfully, I'm not the only one angry about this. There is already a petition right now to repeal the Online Safety Act because, holy shit, this is awful. So far it has more than 100,000 signatures, and if a petition submitted to the UK Parliament gets more than 100,000 signatures, it will actually be put up for a debate in the House of Commons. But of course, it isn't enough. We need this law to go right now. And the more numbers there are, the more likely that this petition will be a very serious topic to debate in Parliament. So to those living in the UK and have not signed it, sign this petition now. I will be leaving a link to it in the pinned comment below. So yeah, in a nutshell, I really hate this law. It's just another reason to add to the endless list of reasons why I just hate being British. Like, seriously. This is not me doing that meme where people think Brits just hate their own country or I'm making fun of this. No, I genuinely hate being British because of stuff like this. I hate my country, I hate the UK, I hate its policies, I hate what the government stands for. Yeah, I definitely don't want to move out. Definitely not. But yeah, anyway, that was that. I know this wasn't the usual silly FnafFan Productions video. I don't like making serious videos at all, but I thought this law was just so bad that I had to make a video about this. You know what I mean? Just for that, I feel like I need to wrap this video up with something funny. Shut up!